All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call today. We're going to have a great call talking about one of the PDF guides for seller leads that we've got in the system. There's like 40 guides for seller leads, 40 plus or so for the buyer leads as well that you can use. And we can use them on social media, Google, to your farm, to your database. And the database is really one of my favorite applications for these guides as well. So we're going to walk through it. Go to listingstoleads.com. If you're not a client, go ahead and sign up for a free trial. Everything we're going to do today, we can do in a free trial. If you're watching the recording or if you're live with us, hopefully you can go ahead and do it as I'm doing it as needed and maybe get some of this done while we're on the call today. If you're watching the recording, go ahead and pause as needed. Get with support, get into the mastermind group as well if you need help with it. When you log in, you're going to be on the dashboard. But before we even do that, I'm going to give everybody here 2 links, and I want everyone to check these out. This call right here was phenomenal last night. So this is the live we did last night with one of our clients, Gordon Day, and it walks through about a 2-month window of doing Facebook ads together, his follow-up, the results that he's getting from it. And for all of you, if you're new to the program or if you're new to starting to get into lead generation and really ramp up your lead generation, don't start using this guide. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but if you're looking for what I would recommend as like the best way to get started and scale, this call right here is where you want to start, because we walk through ads, the good ads, the bad ads. We walk through follow-up. We walk through how to do things, what to expect, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly with Facebook ads and follow-up. So I want you to watch this video as quickly as you can. And then also I'm going to give you, excuse me, one more link. Excuse me. And I'm going to give you one more link here. And I will walk you through this real quickly. Then we'll get started with today's topic. But at this link, and this is at our blog, so if you're watching on the recording, go to listingstoleads.com/blog, and then you can find this URL. For the YouTube video, go to our YouTube channel, just look up Listings to Leads on YouTube, and the title you're looking for is Master Your Facebook Ad Strategies, 8x ROI in 10 weeks. And you're looking for the one on today's date. It was just published 40 minutes ago. So what's today's date? The 4th. So look for the June 4th. There might be 1 or 2 copies of this on the YouTube channel, and you're looking for the one for June 4th. So definitely check that out. And then this post here at our blog covers the same thing, but this call right here was with another client. And so it's really nice to be able to hear from 2 different clients, and they are doing the exact same thing. It was not planned the way it happened. So this client here, Craig Johnson, he was doing the Facebook ads, and he started literally about the same time Gordon started. And I only found out after the fact. And so it is almost uncanny how similar their paths were. The results, the cost per lead, the follow-up. And so to be able to hear from 2 people starting at about the same time, Craig, who is in this video, is in Texas. Gordon is in Florida. So 2 different markets altogether. But the stories are so similar, yet they're different enough where I think you get a lot of value from it. There's a video right down here, and in this video, I walk you through how to do an ad, but in more particular, what to do with an ad that is not performing well. So if you're running an ad, and this happened last week where we had a client running ads and doing really good. Next week, he ran an ad and was not doing so well. And so in this video right here, I walk you through what are some of the common mistakes that people make, right? How do we avoid, and what do we do? So when you have an ad running, don't sit there and let that ad go for a week, spending, double what you should be spending per lead. You turn it off, check it out. So again, watch that video. I walk you through some of the common mistakes people make in doing a Facebook ad. And then at the bottom of the post, and I'm not going to be going through it today because we go through it in both of those videos, the 10 commandments of the Facebook ad strategy. So take a look at that. That is where everyone should start. That is, when you're getting into Facebook lead generation, doing those Facebook ads, and then also doing open houses. So listingsleads.com/open houses, I would recommend, like Gordon said last night on the call, open houses are one of the best ways to get face-to-face with people. And when you combine it with the ads, when you combine it with our open house marketing blueprint and mastery, like Gordon said last night, you're going to change those open houses into seller showcases. You're going to get listings from them. You're going to get buyers from them. You're going to get buyers making offers on the property. There's so much misconception about open houses. And I think from a lot of people that don't want to keep things easy. And in the call with Gordon, so the YouTube video that I gave you, he talks about how he canceled doing the ads the way we did it. He canceled, he reduced his expenses by 80%. And he even said it in the call. He goes, Scott, I was able to cancel so many other programs because he had, and I'm not going to name any, but he had a website, a mail company, he had a data provider, he had another data provider, and he was, Frank, putting all these things together, and he cut everything out. He canceled everything, right? Over about $3,000 a month, like $2,000 to $3,000 a month in all these programs. Canceled them all. He's using Lofty for CRM and Listings to Leads. So whatever CRM you got and Listings to Leads, there might be a few other things that you're going to be doing, but you don't need to overcomplicate it. All right. All right. And Gordon, you're on the call. Why are you here, Gordon? Gordon, that's awesome. You are good to go. You are good to go. So today, though, what we're going to be covering is the PDF guide, because these are great. All right. And Gordon, who I was just referring to, is actually on this call today. So awesome to see you, my man. So the PDF guide, we got a lot of them. And while we're going to be talking about this guide today, I want you can use any guide at any time. So one of the things, let's just go find it. Seller negotiation. I didn't have to type all of that. So here's this guide in particular. Notice we can download it. So we got English and Spanish. So the cool thing is, for all of you, as soon as you go through the Get Started Wizard, you're going to select your brand colors. You're going to upload your logo, your profile photo, all of that. So these guides are completely branded to you, your fonts, your colors, your logo, everything is dialed in for you. We got English and Spanish. There's a text-only version. I will download the English. And I will say, and I forget to say this a lot, you can actually run custom. I'll show you how to run a custom PDF guide ad. So if you got another PDF guide from another place, but you want to leverage our platform because it's so easy to use, you can do that. So here's the guide. And they're all typically between 7 to 10 pages, right? We're trying to initiate conversations. And so here is the guide. All right. So take a look at the guide a little bit later. And again, we've also got it in Spanish. We've got the landing page, and we do have an update coming to these soon. Absolutely awesome. Can't wait for the new update. Let's look at settings. There's a tab here called settings. And in here, you're going to see I can change the colors. Right, I got some settings right here. I can use Facebook registration lead form. Notice we got for buyer guides, show phone field. For seller guides, everyone's going to be a little bit different how they want to do that, make it required or not. All right. Get the address field if you wanted to, time frame to buy or sell, your CRM lead source if you want to add your tags, right there. So tags for seller guides, tags for the buyer guides. Let's click save. And then we've got, oh, in fact, the PDF guide iframe is actually really cool. I'll have to show you that because you can take that iframe and embed it at your website. So it's not really related to this PDF guide in particular, but we'll take a look at that because I think that's so cool. So here's the default autoresponder. So let's download and it'll say the name of the guide, first name. Oh, all right. So back to autoresponder here. So download your, seller negotiation secrets guide. First name, click to download the report, right? So it'll say the report name again. It'll have the image of the guide right there. So you can edit this completely if you want to. Notice you can send a test email. If you get in there and you mess it up and you need to restore the default, click restore default. And that'll just put everything back to normal. So you got that. And then the iframe is really cool. So I can take this and I can embed it at my website. Now we already embed this in all the single property websites, the virtual tours. So when people, when they respond to a Facebook ad, right? So when you're marketing an open house, just listed, a pending, and they get to the single property website from an ad, a post, an e-flyer, this is already in there. So this is already in a lot of the tools that we've got for you. But I can take this iframe and put it in my own website. So here I can select which one of the guides I want, right? All, some, right? Just go down the list, select what you want, give it a headline, subheadline. You can see how that works right there. I can do a seller guide only, buyer guide only. So some different options right there. Very, very cool. I got to get a website where I can do that. But here, let me show you. If I go to, let me just open up a new tab and I'll give you a sense of what they look like in my agent website. So if I go to more tools, my agent website's right here. If I click view, so this is every one of you has one of these, and you can add sections, but you don't need to because this is already in there. So I added this to mine. That's a custom landing page I added. I got my client reviews in there. And so right here. All right. And so how it works, people, let's say I'll go to a seller guide, ultimate guide to selling. This one's like 100 pages long. I click download. Now it's going to say, do you own a home? Yes, I do. Do you need to sell before you buy? Yes, I do. And then name and email. Because that's running off of the settings that I did a little bit earlier in that PDF guide section. So this is kind of how it will look and how it will work if you take that iframe and embed it at your website. All right. So again, here in the PDF guide section, it's under settings. And again, we walk through preferences, the autoresponder, and then the PDF guide iframe. So again, you got a Lofty website, Sierra Interactive, KV Core, right? A lot of them will allow you to add a custom page, and then you can take the code, right? So take the copy code and drop it right into and create some really high value at your website. And what I would do, I think it'd be cool if somebody does this. I'd love to see it. And I know clients have. I should try to find one so I can show it as an example. But on my top level navigation, I would put home seller guides and maybe feature one right on my homepage, because that can, the ability to add more value to your website visitors can go a long way to help you engage with more people. And again, your branding is on every page, so it's going to fully brand you, your colors, your logo, all that great stuff. So definitely check that out. But let's go back to our guides. And yeah, Gordon. Yeah. So Gordon says he's going to do that with this Lofty today. And for everybody else that's on this call, please go ahead and comment. I want you to comment if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if you're on StreamYard. Let me know where you're coming in from. I don't like to I don't like to waste too much time on these calls in the beginning, chit-chatting, but I would love everyone to just drop a comment. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know who you're with. Go ahead and say hello. Cindy, oh man, I wish I knew this. I'm in the process of getting a new website. Yeah, Cindy. So, even with the new website, take that code and have them drop a custom page with it. No, I got one more thing for everybody since we're kind of on that topic. Let me do one more thing here. As a little bit of an aside, in your profile, I'm going to right click so we don't lose where we're at. And I'm going to open up a new tab. Oh, the Amelia, we've had a lot of Coldwell Banker people lately signing up, more than normal. I mean, it's really crazy in the last 2 to 3 weeks. How many Coldwell Banker, and there's another company that is not one that I see a lot. I mean, not a lot, but just, more than normal by like 2 to 3 times. So I don't know what's going on with all the Coldwell Banker people, but for sure, welcome. Yeah, Frisco, Texas. Awesome. Yeah. Perfect. My cell phone. Oh, that's funny. So what I wanted to show you though is domains. So Cindy, you're going to get even more mad because you can connect a domain. So if you own a domain, it could be your website. So if you've got, Gordon Day Real Estate or, just whatever it is, you can actually come here. Don't ask me how to do it because I've never done it before, but I know people have. And it's just, you're going to drop your domain. It will take maybe 2 to 3 days to a week even, because it's got to go through your domain registry. I think there's something you have to do there as well with your host provider. And then you connect it propagates through. And then, let's just say 4 to 5 to 6 days later, all the tools in Listing to Leads are now running off of your custom domain. And I think that's really a sweet. I've seen clients that do that, and it's really slick. It looks really good. Yeah, KW Allen Brooks, awesome. Yeah, welcome, Tim. Tim, your name's familiar. I think we have talked, or you've been a client for a while, or maybe I just recognize your name from somewhere else. I don't know. But let me have a sip of coffee and let's get into the guide. No, again, remember, unless you've got something going on where you're above my pay grade, I don't want to be too dramatic, but I just want to help people. Do the ads the way I shared with you in the video on YouTube, and then the link at our blog. I would start there for the Facebook ads. Don't come in here and start right off the bat by marketing this guide on Facebook. Because if you do open houses and you do the Facebook ads, all right, you're going to get listings, you're going to get buyers, and it's going to be a lot less expensive than going this route. This would be an overlay to that kind of stuff once you start getting your return on investment. So I want you generating leads at a low cost, which is what you would do if you follow the guidance and those other resources I gave you. You do open houses. So you're going to use all the tools to market the open house. You're going to do the ad, the nearby homeowner letter, the tools for the database, right? You're going to use the entire marketing plan and the mastery plan so that your open house becomes a seller showcase. If you do those two things, you're going to start seeing a dramatic change in your business within a couple of months. All right. Then running a Facebook ad for this would make a lot of sense because these leads are going to come in anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks each. And so you're not going to be able to get away. All right. We're going to default to a lead ad. You're going to add your location here. And if you sit there and spend 50 bucks, you're not going to get much. All right. These leads, you need to be generating more leads. And so you need to come in here really in 100 minimum. You really do. It needs to be 100 minimum. And then, the leads are going to be, probably around $10 a lead. Now I'm going to run through this twice because you can use retargeting. You can do video. There's a lot of things you can do here, but in the simplest form, you just drop in the location, your budget, It's going to go for 1 week. Change image. So we have a number of images. You can use Canva. So I can upload an image from Canva. I can do whatever, whatever. So maybe I use that image. And if I wanted to do something from Canva, right, there's an upload button right there. So I can upload whatever I want. So we got the autoresponder ready to go. You don't need to touch any of this. And hit create ad. Now I'm going to do this 2 more times. That would be the simplest way to do it. The next way I'm going to show you how to do this is if you've got a custom audience in Facebook, it could be a custom audience where you buy the data from RedX or My Plus Leads or what have you, and you've got that uploaded, and you can upload that into Listings to Leads. So I'll show you a little bit later where in Listings to Leads, I can upload a CSV file of all the homeowners in my area. It can take, again, 2 days to a week. Actually, I've seen a few where it's a couple of hours. Believe it or not, it blew my mind. But what Facebook will do is they'll take that CSV file, right? So again, I'm thinking RedX, My Plus Leads, those kind of data providers where you can buy that list of homes of homeowners, upload it into Listings to Leads. We will send it to Facebook. They will match up all the people, right? It won't be 100%. It could be anywhere from 70 to 90% of the people in that file will be matched into Facebook. And then now you've got a custom audience. You may already have a custom audience. And so let me walk you through how to do that. So I would turn off, so I would not add location. I would leave everything else the same. I mean, I can change whatever I want. But right here it says retarget current leads. You can just add in whatever audience you've got. So it could be your database audience. It could be a RedX audience, a My Plus Leads audience. So whatever custom audiences that you've got in Facebook, you can access right from here. You don't need to upload them into Listings to Leads to use them. So you may have uploaded them from another program. They may have been around before. You may have had that before you ever even signed up for Listings to Leads. No problem. You can access those audiences right here. And now what you can also do is say, you know what, I'm going to change, I'm going to keep it at day. I'm going to go to daily, excuse me. And I'm going to go to $5 a day. So I'm going to do $5 a day. I want to stay in front of these people, right? I'm thinking homeowners in Folsom, all my database. I want my database I want this to stay in front of my database as well. So I can do that. Again, leave everything else the same. I didn't show this before, but we got the preview. It's a little small for the preview. I apologize, but you can also send yourself a test email to see what that looks like. And now hit create ad. Yeah, Cindy, I'll show you that a little bit later. So thank you. If you see me starting to wrap up the call and I don't show that, but it's under ads. If you click the ads tab, there's a blue button called create audience, I believe. And you'll see it right there. All right. So let me turn this off and let's do one more thing. Let's do one more version of this ad. And I like this one too. Do video views. So this is is Deb on this call? No, I don't see her. So do any of you do video? Anyone here doing video? We have got, you're going to notice there is a short form video script right here. All right. So short form video script. Take that. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but take that script and record. I'd record a short, obviously it's called a short form video. And when you do that, you could also save it as a square or re-record it in landscape. And then you can upload. So notice, I'm going to go change. Now down here, there's that button, change video. And I've already got, for those of you on the call last night, there's those videos that were, in fact, I'll just show this video. I'll just put that video in there. Last night, somebody had the phenomenal comment. I loved it, right? Gordon, remember that comment last night? The guy said, he goes, at his open houses, he takes the 100-point home marketing plan video from Listings to Leads and he plays it on the TV at the open house, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I thought that was so awesome. Because here's the cool thing about videos. If you don't know the strategy yet, that's fine. You can still do it and take advantage of the strategy later. But anyone that watches 3 seconds of my video can be added to a custom audience that I can target later with other ads. So it's a really cool way to get people. They may not watch the full video, but if they watch 3 seconds, you can do 3 seconds, you can do 10 seconds, where anyone that sees my ad, that watches that length of time of my video, I can retarget later for even less money, which is phenomenal. So doing a video view ad. Now, video view ads may or may not generate a lot of leads. If I'm going for straight up lead generation, I would do it the first way. If I want to do more of a percolating lead gen idea, I might do it the second way to a custom audience. And then if I want to more of a branding and future lead gen, where again, I'm kind of more percolating my audience through, this could be a great way. And you would not use this video. I'm just showing you the fact that you can put video in here, but I would want somebody to do, I would want you to record where, you're talking, like I am right now with the script, right? With the short form video script. And that way people can see you and you're talking about the subject. Now, and I didn't say this earlier, but you can edit the text, right? In fact, how to negotiate when you're selling a home. How to negotiate when you're selling a home. Get the free guide that gives you insights on how to make you negotiate a home sale successfully. And you might, for example, you might put, we have helped Folsom homeowners negotiate multiple offer and get the final sales price $50,000 over the first round of offers, right? Something like that. Make it a little bit more, where you're talking about your experience, something that you've actually done. Could be a phenomenal way to just give a little bit more energy, right? A little bit more compelling. I will put a little emoji right there. And don't know why that didn't hold. Let's try it one more time. Go to edit, emoji, pop it in there, boom, bada bing. Back to the preview. I might even put that above, right? We how to negotiate when you're selling a home. Or you might even put learn how we have helped Folsom homeowners negotiate multiple offer scenarios and get the final sales price. You could probably wordsmith that a little bit better, but you get the point. So I've got my text, I got a video or an image, right? Again, I'm going to do a lifetime, and I can still retarget. I can still do that to the location. And let's put in the location. So again, I could have done the location or a retargeted. And you can do both, but what both will do is they'll say only show it to the people in the audience, right? That's in the file. And then only those people in the audience in the location only. So if you got people in your database that are maybe outside of Folsom plus 15 miles, then they wouldn't see the video. All right, any questions on that? I probably thoroughly have confused everybody, right? But again, I don't even want you doing these ads in the beginning because I want you to focus on you're just listed, you're active, your open houses, and then actually doing the open houses and actually using all the marketing tools for those properties that you're marketing. So again, it's not just about doing an ad, it's about using the entire marketing plan around those listings, whether they're yours or not. So even if you don't have listings, and we discussed that in those videos of what to do when you don't have a video or a listing. So please, for the sake of your own business, if you're new to lead generation, start with those videos first as far as the ads are concerned. Now, this is going to be great for your, this will be phenomenal for your database, all right? And it could be great for your farm area as well. Let me connect. And, oh, I may have to do this later, but let's see if this will connect. I was doing a training video the other day and I had to disconnect on some stuff. All right, let's go back to the guide. All right, let's click on marketing tools, Google. So again, Google. All right, this is going to be expensive. I don't want anyone going broke running Google ads, but we got clients. The clients that do Google, they do pretty well with it. So, but again, it's expensive. So, I want you to start in a way where you're not spending a lot of money in the beginning, where you're going to get an ROI. And again, that's where running ads for listings, because a lot of the buyer leads have a home to sell. And when you start doing ads for listings, yours or not, and you start doing open houses on listings that are yours, or you go borrow a listing to hold open, you're going to start getting buyers. You're going to start talking to homeowners. That is the easiest, the fastest, and one of the best ways to kind of get this whole thing off the ground. And then once you start getting some money in the door, you start getting some checks in the door and some commissions in the door. That's where this stuff as an overlay will take your business from, here to really start bringing in those leads for you. All right. But we don't want to kind of go out of order, because you start doing Facebook ads too early. Look at this daily budget, $50. So some people choke on a $50, the idea of a $50 ad for a week. Now with Google, we're talking 50 a day, right? And I know people that have done 100 a day, because it might cost 20 to 30 bucks a lead. All right. So, whatever it's going to be. I mean, you could even go down to 30, but your budget, the budget is a budget. So you go too low on Google, you're not going to see a lot. Start and end date. And again, create ad. It's literally that easy. Dustin Fox in his books, so I thought I had it somewhere around here, but in the book, Dustin Fox, he loves the Google ads, right? He loves doing the Facebook ads. He loves doing Google. But again, I don't want you going broke. I don't want you stressing out. You don't want to be in a position where you're spending money with, like, if I don't get money coming in the door soon from this, I'm going to die, right? We don't want that. We don't want the stress coming into your life. And so that's why I keep harping on, follow the plan that I gave everybody at the beginning of this call from our YouTube channel and then from our blog. If you follow that for the first couple of months, right, maybe 2 to 3 months, you start getting the commission checks, you start, getting listings and buyers that you're working with, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, then some of this other expenses can really come into play for you. All right, social media post. Definitely make sure to get this up on your social media. You can just click post now or schedule. So if you want to schedule it, right, date and time. Post now is post now. So you'll get an email. It'll let you know that it was posted. The email will have a picture of the post. You just click it. You'll be able to go to it. And I would set up your Google. I would do just all of them, right? Google, LinkedIn, X, all of it. Again, I can change the image to a custom image. And let's see. Oh, I wanted to see. Oh, I thought I've put, maybe I never posted that before. Well, anyways, people are just going to click. They're going to go to the landing page, and from there they can download the PDF guide right from the landing page that we saw earlier. Short form video script. This is something I want you to do. Even if you don't publish this, this is something you should be doing. It's absolutely free. You will get better at it as you do more of them. So maybe you're brand new and you've never really done video, and don't do the videos where, oh my God, don't do an AI avatar video. Those are the dumbest things I've ever seen. And they just look absolutely ridiculous. So don't do those, please. They just look childish. And I would refrain from trying to be too cute and start doing the AI voice and AI images. Just get this here. Here's what you do. Click the green send button, send it. All right. Now, I got my phone. I'm going to go to my phone and I am going to open up the email. And you can see I've got the script. Let me see if I can. There's a script. All right. Boom. That's a script. If you don't have a so that was a header. There are three buttons right there. Let me see if I can get that to show. And maybe not. Anyways, those three buttons, they're the same three buttons on the screen. And then below those buttons is the actual script. If you don't have a teleprompter app, you can download from the App Store or Google Play. If you don't know how to use the app, then click that blue button on your. So you can see there, I literally walk you through what to do when you get it on your phone. And then there's actually a demo of the teleprompter app right here. I believe that's on YouTube, and that's from the company. So if you don't have a teleprompter app, and you may have a teleprompter app from another program or just another one, you don't even need a teleprompter app, to be honest with you. What I would do is, I hate teleprompter apps, to be honest. Any of you here use teleprompter apps, or do you have a good one? Anybody here? Tim, Mary, anybody? Let me know. Have you ever done short form video? So either way, record the video. I would just use this as inspiration, right? Rocky. All right, awesome. Yeah. So, if you use the teleprompter app, you're going to be more word for word. And I just find personally it's a little bit more constraining. Like I got to oh my God, I got a word for word. And that's fine. Like, get good. It's like, right, newscasters. That's what people on TV news do. That's all they do, right? All those people on TV are doing for the most part is they're just reading a teleprompter app and they get really good at it. And it takes time. I mean, they go to school for this kind of stuff. All right. They don't, some of you get so discouraged because you try something 2 or 3 times, you're not comfortable, you're not getting the results that you want, and so you quit, and you don't realize, my God, these people on TV, the people that you see on Instagram that look like they're killing it, they didn't start out that way. They started out being uncomfortable. They started out with no results. They started out, taking way too long and too many takes to get it done. But what they did is they stayed consistent. And they knew at the end goal of this was to be able to record this in literally a minute, get it up and gone. Don't worry about it, but you start engaging people, right? And so with Listings to Leads, you get so many video scripts. It's unbelievable. All right. It's literally unbelievable how many scripts we give you. And again, whether you do it word for word or you just take it and you go, you know what? The script is, do you know of the top 9 areas for negotiation with buyers when selling your home in this changing market? It's a great idea to be prepared to negotiate so that you get the most money from the sale of your home. DM or comment below for my free guide, how to negotiate when selling your home, so that you are prepared so that you get the most money out of the sale of your property. This free guide is going to give you the inside secrets, how to make negotiation successful. This is Scott Pierce with Eldell Realty. Look forward to talking to you soon. It doesn't have to be a 5-minute thing, right? You're just trying to get visible. You want to show up in people's feed. If you don't do the video, you don't publish it, that's a missed opportunity. You don't have to come up with a script because we're giving it to you. You don't have to come up with the PDF guide because you've got it in your Listings to Leads account. All you need to do is just record it and get it up. I don't care how bad it is. You can laugh at it later. All right. In 2 to 3 months from now, after you get some of these videos done, look back, laugh at it, and just be thankful that you followed my advice and you started actually doing them. So get that done. Now the e-flyer, and for the call script. So now we're going to hit our database. And this is also one of my other favorite parts of this. Send this to your database, Follow Up Boss, KV Core, Lofty, whatever it is. You can send it also through Listings to Leads. So if you've got leads in Listings to Leads, you can click, well, first of all, you can send a test email. So I always like to send a test email. I want to see what it looks like. Alternatively, I can edit the email. So if I want to edit that image or the text, right, your signature, whatever it is, I can edit any of it. We'll go back to preview. And then I can send now. So I can send this to all of my leads in Listings to Leads. And I probably would, right, for buyer lead. I'd send it to my buyer leads because, again, probably half of your buyer leads own a home. And a fair number of them are going to have to sell their home when they buy. So this would be a great thing to help engage some of those buyer leads as well, who you don't even know have a home. But if you want to send it to just sellers, that's fine as well. So, you're going to do what you're going to do. But but if you want to send it from your CRM, copy code, copy for FUB. All right. So either way, come over so I'm already in Follow Up Boss. For whatever CRM you're using, navigate to where you're going to send out the email. And then in the editor area, right, that editor area here, click either insert HTML or insert source. And now we got the email. It looks like there's a little bit of a blank there. I'll take a look at that after the call. Someday you can just kind of go like that right there. All right, bring it up if you need to. I'm going to copy in the subject line. And in fact, you know what I did? I went to ChatGPT, and what I did, I just dropped in. I said, hey, give me a good subject line. What would be a good subject line? And I like to do this because over the months, you may send this out every 4 to 5 months. And there we go. And I just want to play with different subject lines. So unlock home sale negotiation secrets today for home sellers in 2025, right? Whatever. I would send every week, not the same one, but I would send a different one every single week. Definitely. I would send a buyer guide to my buyer leads, a seller guide to my seller leads, or I would alternate a seller guide to my entire database week 1, a buyer guide to my entire database week 2. Because, typically, at some point, everyone's going to be buying and or selling, right? Even the first-time home buyers are going to sell at some point. So even though home seller negotiation secrets may not be applicable to a first-time home buyer, they may find it interesting. And a lot of the buyer leads in your database, they have a home to sell, or at least they own a home. So HTML B2C trigger going to Gmail, Tim. Email triggers email going to Gmail. Yeah, Tim, we typically, our emails, and I've had a fair number of our clients tell us, they get an 80% open rate and a pretty good click-through rate. So, I know when we send it from Listings to Leads, our SendGrid reputation is like 92%, which is ridiculous. All right, we have an exceedingly high reputation rate. So I know when they go through our system, they don't get they don't hit spam as much as a lot of other programs. All right, yeah, that's sending it from Listings to Leads. Yeah, if you got a comment on something that you're noticing, let me know later. Maybe go ahead and ping me if you like to. If you got, I'm not really following exactly what you're saying, Tim, but I'd love to have you ping me, Scott@listingstoleads.com, or DM me on Facebook. All right. All right, Cindy, you are excused. No problem, Cindy. Thank you so much for that. All right. So, but here's the thing. get this to your database, but call, for the love of God, call through your database. The problem with most of you is you are not calling your database. So here's the deal. Like when we were on the call last night with Gordon, right? And then the other week with Craig Johnson, whether you're calling, well, you should call, you're calling your new leads. So, here's the deal. New leads are coming in. And so you're calling them every day. You're calling them. Some people say, call 3 times a day for a month. Some people say call once a day for a week. Some people do the 10 days of pain, the 100 days of pain, whatever it is, you're going to be doing that. But then at some point, those leads are just going to be, cold leads, or not going to be, talking to you. So they're off that call. They're off the call pattern, right, that you're doing, that call cycle that you're doing. So now they're kind of in that middle to cold. And that's where this really comes into play. This is very nice. So call the people in your database, call 10 to 20 of them. Now, again, you're not going to call a hot lead, right? You're not going to call maybe, if you got a brand new lead that you haven't been able to get a hold of, maybe you can call with this script. But obviously, if you're already talking to somebody, I wouldn't call them up about this necessarily. This is good as well for those medium to cold leads that you just haven't been able to get a hold of. So you're going to send the email and then start calling, right? So I'm going to call them and say, hey, Tim, this is Scott Listings. So voicemail, or if you get them on the line. So I'm just going to role play as if it's a voicemail, but obviously you get the idea if I actually get you on the line. So I would say, hey, Tim, Scott here at Listings to Leads, and I just sent out my new guide, Home Seller Negotiation Secrets, via email to all of my clients and local homeowners. And I just want to make sure that you got it and find out maybe if you have any questions regarding it. With the way the market is now in transition, I just want to make sure you got it. So please let me know if you'd like more information related to that or anything else. And then here, notice we got home seller or seller leads homeowners right here, seller leads homeowners. There's another tab, buyer leads and renters. So for seller leads and homeowners, we got 2 versions. Then, so I'm still talking to Tim. I'm putting some home value reports together for my clients this week. They will be more detailed and accurate than the online tools that a lot of people use. Would Tim at Gmail or whatever be the best email to send that report to when it's ready? Boom. How beautiful is that? Script 2B. All right. So again, I go through the first part of the script and I can alternate with, I don't know if you're interested, but I do free CMAs for all of my clients. And the CMA is something that will give you a much more detailed look at the value of your home. And I can provide some tips on how to increase your home value as well. And, I know you're not looking to sell right now, but doing these kind of reports also help me keep a tab on what's going on in the market. So if you're interested, I'd be happy to send it to you. Is scott@listingstoleads.com the best email to get that to when it's ready? You see how that works, everybody? So we're sending out the email. It's a lot of value, right? We had phenomenal feedback from clients on this. So get the email out, then call, all right, call those leads up, refer to the email. Hey, I just want to make sure you got the email I sent with my home seller negotiation secrets guide. It's a great guide. If you have any questions, let me know. If you don't get the email, I can resend it to you, no problem. Just let me know. And oh, by the way, right, that Columbo close, oh, by the way, right, A or B. Now, if they end up letting you know, hey, we're actually looking to buy a home, we got that right there for you as well. Make sense? Everybody either give me a thumbs up, a comment, or a yeah, if you get that idea. This is my favorite application, one of my favorite applications for these guides. They are a little gold nugget of value. We got the emails ready to go. So we want to get this to our database, send it to everybody, but then look at and identify those leads that, you haven't responded to anything, that haven't talked to you before, and then call them up with that offer. You're probably going to be getting their voicemail, probably, and that's totally fine. And if you get someone on the phone, that's great as well. And I don't know if Gordon's still on the line, but be sure to watch the video that I gave you from YouTube. He talks towards the end of the video, he's talking about a lead that was, now this lead was nuts. Great woman, but just the whole scenario is a little bit nuts, where she was responding to every ad he ran. And he's running 2 to 3 ads a week, right? Just like I was talking about earlier. So he's running ads. Every ad he does, she's a lead. She's a lead. It's annoying. She's a lead. She's a lead. She's a lead. Couldn't get a hold of her. Finally, he gets a hold of her, because he's like, my God, I am gonna get a hold of this woman, because she's literally a lead on every single ad. He gets a hold of her. She starts screaming at him. His words. She starts screaming at me, I'm not going to buy a home, and stop calling me, and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, you know what he said? He goes, and if you watch the video, I may be getting this wrong, but it's like, I see you're having a bad day. I'm just here to help. I was like, damn. I was like, you know what? That right there, how do you respond to that? No, she could have hung up on him, whatever, but she didn't. That turned out to be a great conversation. And she's got some things going on, and she's probably going to buy at some point. And if she does, they're in conversation. So, he took, if you don't call these people, you're not going to connect. And I share that story only to say, sometimes people, they don't want to talk to you. They don't know you. All right. That's why we got to stay consistent doing this. That's why leaving voicemails is beautiful, because it's just that little nugget, right? It's just that little stake in the ground. It's just me showing I care, that I'm here to help, right? I'm not going to get all mad and hang up and, not leave a voicemail. For heaven's sakes, I called, right? Of course I'm going to leave a voicemail. So, you got to plant these little, seeds of trust, or whatever you want to call it. And then don't get riled up and mad if somebody comes, starts off a conversation with you all bent out of shape. So with that, I got the next one. So it's a different flyer, but so we got flyers, postcards, and door hangers. In fact, I got somebody that was emailed me. I got to get a hold of them later. So these flyers, I like them for open houses. I mean, you could door knock with them, I guess. We got different versions of them, but I like them. I like them at open houses, where you print it up, you put it in, and this is part of our open house mastery training, where you print up a couple of these for the seller, a couple of them for buyers, and you put them at your open house, so that as people are walking around your open house, they're going to see these flyers, and they can scan the QR code, download the flyer, and literally you could be having a conversation with somebody right at the open house. So, again, that gets back to my strategy that I talked about in the beginning of this call. Run ads for listings. Because if you think about it, what are listings, right? Listings are inventory. When you go to a car lot, the salesman does not own the cars. So, and I say that you can borrow listings to hold open. People do it all the time and get listings from it, get buyers from it. You got to be in, let's not start using car lot analogies, but you get the idea. Imagine the car salesman was sitting at home, right? Just calling people. Do you want to buy a car? Do you want to buy a car? Do you want to buy a car? People are like, right, whatever. But when you start, getting out there, right, and you start doing your open houses, now people can come and see you, and you're not a car salesman, right? And we've all got probably a car salesman that we trust. And why do we trust them? Because we've done business with them. While all other car salespeople are whatever they are in our mind, most of us have a car salesman that we do know and that we trust, right? And that doesn't happen just over the phone. Now, it can, obviously, what we talked about earlier, but one of the fastest and best ways of making that happen is at doing an open house and using our training in particular for the open house. And so this is part of that training where we talk about print 1 or 2 seller guides, 1 or 2 buyer guides. In fact, there's different versions. So there's also the sideways. So this is more horizontal, right? You see that horizontal? So you got the vertical, you got the horizontal. And again, I guess you could door knock with them. No, whatever. Next up, postcards and door hangers. This would be great. Anybody here use Mailbox Power? Or, any kind of postcard company? Let's let them come up. So yeah, these are also great. And I mentioned, maybe Thanks.io. Don't quote me, double check. But what I'm just gonna share is the idea of dynamic home images and dynamic QR codes. So let's say here, and I might, to be honest with you, I would probably upload this to Canva, get a better image of a home in your area. And then that way, when they scan, so if I upload this to Mailbox Power or Thanks.io, I can swap out this image with a dynamic home image so that every home that gets this, it'll be an image of their home, which is really cool. So they're looking at their home right here. And I can use a dynamic QR code so that when somebody scans that QR code, I will know who it is because, Mailbox Power, Thanks.io, they know who they sent it to, right? So they know, the third postcard in this 100 postcard set went to 121 Main Street, Scott Pierce at 121 Main Street. And so when this postcard gets delivered to Scott Pierce at 121 Main Street, and if I were to scan that QR code, it knows because that QR code is unique to my postcard. So they use a different QR code in every single 100 postcards. And that way I get a notification saying, hey, Scott Pierce at 121 Main Street scanned your QR code. And he's more likely to do it because he saw his home on the postcard. So, now you can use them as is for sure. No problem there. But, I love that idea of taking that and, adding in a dynamic image of the home through a program like Mailbox Power, through a program like Thanks.io. If there's any others, let me know. I'd love to get a list of all the different postcard providers that have those options, right? We got EDDM. We got EDDM Panoramic. We got a door hanger. So again, I could download it. And right, maybe swap out that image. And then I wonder, I've never checked this before. Let me see something here. If I go to print mail here, so we have a print mail service, which you can totally use. The print service that we're with right now, though, they don't have the dynamic QR code or the dynamic home image like I was referencing earlier. That's why you don't hear me talk about them a lot. But if I go, so yeah, for a door hanger, of course, it's going to be to ship to me only. And I can order 50. And right. Yeah. Preview. So I think what I might do is, because I just want to make sure it's as close to my area as possible. If I was going to do a postcard or door hanger, I might download it. Again, if I'm using Thanks.io or Mailbox Power, I would want to use the dynamic home image of the recipient's home with a dynamic QR code is like a phenomenal way to do that. Alternatively, I could download it and then use Canva and swap out that image to something more appropriate for my area. And then, whether you use our service or another service to mail it out. Makes sense for everybody? But there's the front. Here's the back of the postcards. And there we go. Just a little bit bigger so you can see it. All right. And let's see the last thing I think is the Farmer Circle prospecting script. So if you're buying a list of homes that you're going to mail to and you scrub against the DNC, which a lot of people do, now I got a script that I can even use. Right. So I call people, hey, this is Scott Pierce of the L2L Realty in Sacramento. My new homeowners My new homeowner and home selling guide. Oh my gosh. My new guide. This is my new guide, the Home Selling Negotiation Secrets, has been sent to my clients and local homeowners in Sacramento, right, your area. I sent you a postcard door, whatever it is, you're going to postcard, a door hanger, a flyer with a QR code on it that you can scan to download it. With the way the market is in transition now and current inventory levels, I just wanted to make sure that you got that. All right. If it is better, I can email this to you directly because you got the e-flyer. Just call or text me at, and that'll be your phone number. You won't have my phone number. That'll be your phone number. If it is, make sure you use your phone number. And then you get a couple of script versions, similar to what we did before. I'm putting together some home value reports together for my clients this week. These will be more detailed and accurate than the online tools a lot of people use would. Because again, if you bought a list from My Plus Leads or RedX and you scrubbed it, and so that's the list I'm going to mail to. Well, you've got their email, you've got their phone number, and so just confirm their email. Would Scott@listingsoleads.com be the best email to send that report to? That makes sense? All right, people. Shalina, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. A lot of great comments. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. All right. Very nice. Any other comments? So again, Cindy had mentioned earlier, how often do you think we should be sending these out? Every week. Every single week. All right. Tim, thank you so much. All right. Perfect timing, 10:02. So listen, everybody, have a great day. We got another call at 5:00. It's going to be a phenomenal call. I think a lot of you will get a lot of value from it. I think it's, because I was reviewing it a little bit earlier. We're going to talk about follow-up. And so between Craig Johnson, Gordon Day, and a few other people, I'm going to be kind of synthesizing some of the best practices. And my wife is actually a mortgage broker, and she's going to share some of her follow-up techniques. She help give a little bit of confidence, help you realize that, you know what, it's not the worst thing in the world. Things are going to happen. People are crazy. People are insane. People are beautiful. People are people. And so we just got to make sure that we got the right attitude going into it. And I'm also going to talk about, some of the ways that you want to make sure you're not having a negative attitude that is affecting your follow-up calls, because sometimes I think we can get into a little bit of a pity rut, a victim rut, a angry rut, and that can really hurt us as we're following up with people. And so I want to talk about that tonight as well, and how to make sure that we're going to have the right mindset in our follow-up so that every call that we make is going to be as on point and full of energy and be as positive as possible, so that we're not wasting our time and we're not missing out and losing opportunity. All right. With that, looks like there might have been a new comment. Let me see here. And yes, right, 100%. Exactly. Thank you so much for that. All right, everybody, get out of here. Go have a phenomenal day. And if I'm lucky enough to see you at 5:00, we will. Otherwise, get into the mastermind group, get with support. And hey, don't forget your affiliate links. If you're still on this call, and a fair number of you are, don't forget your affiliate link, 15% recurring, no cap, no limit. You got your link right there. You got an email. So here's your affiliate link. You can copy that and go share it out there with everybody and start making some money. And hopefully Listings to Leads essentially becomes free, because you've got, I think, 5 to 6, 7 people sign up. That's more than whatever you're paying us. So you'll be good to go, and you'll be generating leads for almost nothing. All right, everybody, have a great one. We'll talk to you soon.